Hi everyone, this is Melissa the Stamp Jock, and today I'm going to show you how to make a gift bag out of 2 sheets of designer series paper. You can actually use any type of pattern paper that has 2 sides that measure 12" by 12". I based this project on a project that was shared by fellow demonstrator Rhonda Wade, and I just put my own creative spin on it, so I thought I would show you that. So grab 2 sheets of designer series paper. On this one, I'm using the Trimming the Town designer series paper, but on the project I'm going to show you, we're going to use the Heartwarming Hugs, which is also one of my favorites this year. So you're going to grab your paper trimmer. This is the biggest thing that you're going to need right away. And again, 2 identical sheets of designer series paper. Now I prefer to do something that has an all over pattern so that it's not going to matter which direction you go. If you do have a piece of paper that has a direction going one way, you are going to have to be careful with your scoring. So I recommend that the first attempt you do at this, that you really use a pattern that's all over and it's not going to matter which direction it goes. So we're going to start by taking one of those 12 by 12 sheets and cutting it 4 inches off of it so that it will then measure 8 inches by 12 inches. So my cutting blade is right here. I'm just going to run that across, and I'm going to run it back over because we're going to keep that out of the way. And then we want to go ahead and score at 1 inch on 3 of those sides. So I'm going to do it this way. So I like to use the 1 inch mark down here just because I can butt my paper up against this side and I can make sure that it stays even all the way across. It's not flopping around down here. So I'm just going to gently score that at 1 inch, and we're going to turn it and do 1 inch again. And you're going to do 1 inch on 3 of those sides. So let's get that final one done. And then on the last side, I'm going to do that at 3 inches. So I'm just going to score that across, and we'll set that one aside. So this was our 8 by 12 sheet. Now I'm going to take our 12 by 12 sheet, and on this one, I want to score it at 3 inches on 3 sides. So we're going to do 3 inches. And because all sides are the same, it really doesn't matter which one you do that on. So just 3 of those are going to be at 3 inches. And then the final one will be at 1 inch. So again, I'm going to put that paper in and use the 1 inch score line down here at the bottom so I can line that up good. Okay, and we're done with our paper trimmer. That's all we need to do on that. And for this project, you are going to want to use a strong adhesive. So I recommend either using Sticky Strip or the Stamp & Seal Plus. Your regular adhesives just aren't going to work for this and hold it quite as sturdy. So the Stamp & Seal Plus is what I've been going with most of the time, just because it's so easy and it eliminates that step of having to tear that backing off of there. But I think mine's pretty low, so I will have to refill this, and I'll show you how easy that is to do as well. So on the area that was just 1 inch, I'm going to fold that down. Now you could use either side, so we could even do this side like that, but I'm going to use the red side because I think it looks a little more festive. So I'm going to run my Stamp & Seal Plus all along that 1 inch scored area. And we're just going to fold that down. Okay, so the rest of these were at 3 inches. We're going to go ahead and fold those in on both sides, and then also at the bottom. Okay, then you're going to want to take your paper snips, and we want to cut along this line up to the second score line here. So I'm just going to do that very carefully, and we're going to do that on this one too, and those are going to create some little box flaps for us. I need to trim that a little nicer. There didn't get a great trim on that. Okay. Then the other step that I like to do on this is just start a little bit, probably like about 1/8 of an inch over, and I'm going to just angle my cut up to that point. And that's just going to create a little gap there that will make it easier to fold this in. And we'll do the same thing over here. Again, not very much, and you don't have to measure this at all. You just want a small little wedge taken out of it. This will make it just a lot easier to fold this up. Okay, then I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal Plus again, and I'm going to put adhesive on these flaps. So hopefully you can kind of see where this is going. And then one at a time, I'm going to fold that up. So I'm going to show you here. Not get it stuck there, okay? But I just want to fold that together so that lines up good. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. And you can see we have the base of our box, just like that. So that is going to be the front part of our box. So I'm just going to set that aside and we'll do the next part. So this piece is your back of the box. So the bottom that has the 3-inch scored area, you're going to fold that. And then again, we're going to fold that top flap down. I'm going to put my Stampin' Seal across that whole back there and fold that down. And we're going to do our sides. So we've got both of those. I'm going to fold that one up too. And again, just like we did on the other one, we're going to cut up on that flap. I'm going to go ahead and do my narrow strip on that too. And we're going to cut up on this flap. And do our narrow strip there too. All right, perfect. Okay, so we've got all of that good. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my adhesive right along that 1-inch score line. And I'm going to do 2 of them on this one. Now, it's very possible that my Stampin' Seal is going to run out before I get done with this project. And you can just refill these little containers. So if I have a chance to do that, I will show you how that's done. It may not happen. There's so much on it, but you can see I've got the red showing, so it might happen. All right. Then what we're going to do is we want to fix our box up here. We'll do our bottoms here. All right, so I've got my bottom. That's our back, and our adhesive's on there. And then I'm also going to put some adhesive right here on the bottom. And if I don't get through this, which, wouldn't you know it, the last things we needed to do. Okay, so this just pops apart. So you can see that. This one comes up, and then this one goes on. And there's just little holes to line up, so I have to turn it over to see where those are. I can't just feel it. There we go. And then that just pops back on there. Perfect. Let's get it started here. Oh, a brand new one always runs so perfectly. So, all right, so I just put a little bit in there. And so I'm going to set the back of my box in there. And I want to line up these tops. So I've got that lined up. I want to line up this one over here. There we go. Oops. I didn't line that up great, guys. Sorry. All right. I'm not getting a great line over here, guys. Sorry about that. this just may have to be my goofy one, guys. All right. And so there's our little box. I'm just going to go in there and kind of press those down so you can see. Now, I've got my box there, and I'm going to take a clear envelope, and I'm just going to cut off the flap on that. And I'm going to put 2 pieces of sticky strip on that. And this I just find is easier. Sometimes with that Stampin' Seal, it just doesn't hold on there very good. And of course, if you had one sideways, you could even do it that way. And then we're going to peel that packing off. There we go. And these bags would be great for birthdays also. So I'm sure you're thinking in your stash what you even have that you could do this with. But it's a great way to quit hoarding your paper. And then I'm going to put that on there. You do not have to do the little card thing on the front. You could just leave that plain if you want it, but I thought it was cute. And then I've got this cute little card with the gnome on it. I'm going to put that in there. And I also like to finish mine off with a little bit of ribbon. Now I'm going to use my old crocodile. Again, this is really a use up your stash kind of project. And I'm going to punch a couple holes up here. There we go. And let me turn her around there. I'm going to use some of the ribbon that coordinates with the heartwarming hugs. Put that in there too. And you could do handles on this also. I kind of like to do that, and I like to pinch this top closed too, just so that it gives a nice little bag look to it as well. I'm just going to tie my ribbon up here. But yeah, you could easily do handles on this instead if you wanted to do that. I just stuff mine with tissue paper and kind of give it as is. And trim those ribbons down just a tiny bit. But yeah, if you find yourself short with gift bags for the holidays, this is a great way to use up things that you already have. So there is our completed project. So I hope you like this one, and I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe.